Well, thank you for taking the time to do an interview. I got sent your guys' new album through Napalm Records, your first album through those guys, and I'm really digging what you guys are doing this time around.
Oh, I'm glad you dig it. I was wondering, and I was listening to it over and over again, and I was wondering, oh man, it's going to be coming up pretty soon. A lot of people are going to be hearing it. And I couldn't help but, think to myself, oh, I wonder if they're going to like it. I wonder if they're going to like it. Man, I've been hearing a lot of, good reports.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I mean, there's a lot of great elements of the old school American Head Charge mixed into 2015, 2016. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, it is. Kind of mixed together in a big bucket with the eggs on top.
Oh, very much so. So, what went into the process for the new album?
What was the what process for the new album?
Oh, just like the writing process, what were you guys looking for into making the new album?
Well, tell you what, when you get us all together on an idea, sometimes it does take a little bit of time to get it to happen, but I think once everybody, as we're across the country, got copies of these new demos, and, these were ones that were after shoot as well. So we've done the shoot EP, and some of the demos I've heard are songs that are on the new record, and some of them never made the record. But there was a newer set of demos I was looking forward to hearing to, because there was a few songs that they were hoping, there's some of these that we're really hoping is going to be on the record. So definitely want you to learn these. So I'm just getting tons of music to go through and learn and listen and learn those drum and kick patterns. And so it was quite a lot. I was like, after I counted them all up, after we had done shoot, and I counted all the demos, I was like, yeah, we got like 18 songs here. Not to mention the new ones that we haven't even gotten to yet, that aren't even recorded yet. They're just still in Cameron's brain and Chad's brain. And so there was a couple exciting ones yet to go through. This is during pre-production, mind you, and we hadn't started recording yet. So one of the things that really excited me was when I heard some of these new ones that they were they were programmed drum parts, and that I heard from Chad, and Chad was like, we did have some simple program parts here just to write the song out, but take liberty with some of these parts. I mean, there were some things where it was real important to get that kick and snare in the right spot. And then there were some parts where you're like, it was obvious that was a spot where I would have maybe thrown in a fill that had a little bit more, Chris Head Charge vibe to it, where it made sense to song and wasn't overdoing it, but it wasn't, too simple. It has to have some gusto to it. Yeah, I don't usually do toms or fills that are really long and really dizzy, because it's difficult to have that tie into the song and feel right. It feels like almost like I'm overplaying, like I'm just super fancy and whatnot. Though sometimes a less is more approach really works with that, and then helping writing songs together. Justin helped a great deal with writing songs with Chad, and actually Justin helped a great deal with writing lyrics for one of the songs that Cameron hadn't made lyrics for yet, and we only had a couple days left of vocal track, and he's like, "Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?" He wasn't freaking out, but you could tell, he was thinking about it really deeply, almost like he had started thinking about song or lyric ideas right then and there for that song. And then before I could even say anything, Justin, chimed in and is like, "Hey, I tell you what, I got these lyrics. I think they'd fit. Why don't you read these lyrics with this song that you haven't wrote lyrics for, and see if you'd like to put these in there?" And so there were some spots like that where Cameron was able to use lyrics from Justin's notebook to actually, put it in the record, which I think is really interesting. How I listened to the lyrics for all the songs in the new record, and I am having a hard time figuring out which was the one that Justin put forward. I think it was a verse or two. I'm not sure exactly how much or what it was, but it was it isn't an extensive, it was a pretty good sized part of the tune. So yeah, and his keyboard playing and putting in, really cool, samples and loops. He's just getting better and better at it. And, really sometimes subliminal, but yeah, it works. It works really well with, you're going, I hear something extra, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. And then one day I'm driving down the highway 2 months after listening to the masters, and I got the volume at this certain level where it's not too high and not too low, and all of a sudden, with all the speakers going to the front of this car, I start hearing it, and I'm like, what the? I rewind it, and I'm like, I've heard this track over and over again, and I've never heard that keyboard part, or that line, or that loop. So I really enjoy how they've made a record where I can listen to it and get multiple enjoyment out of it. You know, it's the joy and the enjoyment I get out of listening to it gets better and better each time I play it. It hasn't, not only has it not got boring yet, it's still getting exciting for me. So I like when a record does that. It had a little dip, but it was such a heartfelt song when Cameron, you know, did what is it, King? You know, King Among Men.
Yeah.
You know, I heard King Among Men do my friend's sound system at his little rehearsal space, and it was at that point I got lucky and it was going through this amazing sound system. And I cranked that song up, and there was people coming in, and it was during the day, we were setting up for a show, so I was able to do this without worrying about, you know, it getting pirated or anything. But some dude that I've known all my life said, "Chris, who is this? What is this song?" I said, "Oh, that's one of the new songs off the new record. It's Cameron's new one's kind of quiet piano, you know. It's a song about King Among Men." And the first, you know, I know the first 3-4 weeks I played that song, I, you know, pretty much cried every time I heard it. You know, it just brings the tears out of me. It's such an emotional song, the way the simplicity of the piano and the lyrics go together. It's not too much, you know, there's not too much production getting in the way of what you really want to feel, which is the emotion with which he had when he wrote it. You know, it worked really well. I still get cold chills when I hear that song.
Yeah, that's definitely a great thing when you're able to play a record, and then every time that you hear it, there can at least be one moment that like grabs you by the heartstrings, and just be able to have a real emotional attachment to it. And it's great to see that you guys aren't just putting together an album just to put an album together, that you guys are actually... It feels like you guys are like a full functioning unit again, and you're writing some of your best material.
Thank you. It feels like that too. I believe we are. I mean, at first, I thought we were doing a record just because we had songs we were doing a record, but I noticed it. The more I was around for the process, the more I realized that, hey, they're really serious about this one. This isn't like, oh, we're getting together and putting together some songs so we can put a record out. They were, you know, there's a different, like when they were talking, there was a difference behind his eyes. Like they were saying something, his emotions, you know, like we really want this one to be, you know, the best one yet. We want to put everything we got into this one, you know, and sense it in their voice and in their responses. You know, they really cared about it, and it showed. Those long days where I thought, hey, but I can get out of here at midnight because I'm playing so well. And they're like, yeah, Chris, we're going to want you to go through a new one. And before you do, go through that last thing you did, you know, a couple times, really, you know, make sure we got it. And they'd say, yeah, your energy level seems fine, man. We're going to let you keep going for a little while longer. And that's when I knew that, you know, it just felt in my heart. It was like, this is serious. We weren't just messing around here making a record just because we got some money to do it. You know, we wanted a chance to really bring everything we learned up into this point and to use it. All the things Greg Fiddleman showed us and all the little things Rick Rubin showed us and to think about, and you know, and it, you know, that list just grows and grows, and then plus when you're getting to play with all these great musicians, I feel like it makes me a better musician. So it was good feeling that everyone's as serious about it as I was.
Oh, very much so, and that's very important in being in a band such as American Head Charge too. Having the whole band feeling like a unit and writing songs together and having that same impact that you had when you first started off as well. It really sounds, again, just like you're writing your best material, because it does sound like everyone in the band right now is so inspired and wanting to make the best music possible.
Yeah, man, I agree. To keep it going and keep it going right, you know. I think it's something that's a record, something you play from beginning to end, and you really don't want to skip over too much of it, you know, if anything. Oh. That's the kind of record I wanted to put out. I didn't want to put out a song that was a hit, and then we had, you know, 8 or 9 songs like that after it. It didn't really vary too much. You know, this really varies a lot from moment to moment, and from part of the song to part of the song.
Yeah,
we get compared to nu metal a lot, and I can understand the comparison. The crunchy guitars, the certain maybe sensibility of some of the vocals and the heavy singing parts. But I think that's where it was incomplete. Yes, it was something you could say, hey, Head Charge is a what band? New metal band. That definition would be okay for quite a few people, but I noticed too, a lot of people who didn't like nu metal as a definition, and I accepted it, but I always looked at this as more like kind of industrial metal, you know, with a you know, more of a you know, Ministry, you know, Marilyn Manson kind of like dark, you know, gritty guitar parts. You know.
Yeah, I've always thought of you guys more as an industrial band more than nu metal. I mean, definitely the way that you were describing it is way more of what I've always thought American Head Charge to be.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, when you look at it that way, who knows? Maybe we're just we're just a rock band, you know, that sounds like, sometimes we sound industrial metal and sometimes we sound like new metal. But at the end of the day, we're just a really kind of a basic rock band because of some of, you know, just because of some of our way we put together songs and structure and, you know, the sensibility we have when playing some of these riffs, you know, it just kind of come out of an old way of doing things in rock, you know. Think of it as a rock band, but think of it Kiss or Kiss do there, make that sound, that, you know, going to that next part really well, or, you know, or something hip hop, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely a great way to look at it too. And of course, the most important thing is to make music that you want to make, not what you're defined by, but what you want the music to be in your band.
Yeah, I agree, because I never, when I asked all the people what they thought, one of the main responses I heard from people just out in the world and sometimes in some little bit more normal settings, friends of mine down in Indiana that normally listen to that kind of music. I mean, I'd go, so what'd you think? And 9 times out of 10, if it was a response from somebody who wasn't normally into really heavy music, would be like, I don't understand what he's saying. He's screaming, and I can't understand that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Listen to that again, because Cameron's one of the few people that can scream where I can understand what he's saying. Like, he puts, I don't know, he just doesn't make, you know, enunciates well sometimes, or he just gets the you know, the whole word in there with the scream, and then somehow there's a balance there, and you don't lose the meaning. And so they're like, well, yeah, well, I'll hear it again, and then they're like, well, I still kind of have a hard time understanding them. And then, but they always said, I love the parts where he sings. Why doesn't he do more of that? You know. So after hearing that so many times, when it was time to make another record, I never stepped forward and say, hey, let's try to do one where it's all singing now and not so much screaming. You know, just because it's what I heard people say, oh, I don't understand it, you know, I want to hear less screaming. I didn't want to hear less screaming, and I didn't want us to make a decision as a group to satisfy a few people that seemed to think it would seem better if we weren't yelling so much. And I thought, well, you know, maybe just that's not their thing. They like to listen to, you know, some pop, and, you know, some you know, something like McDonald with the, you don't know your name, brother. McDonald.
Oh, yeah.
Michael McDonald. You know, maybe they want to hear something that's more of a crooner, you know, then that's your cup of tea. I'm not going to, you know, ask my singer to change his style because these people over here don't dig it, because I get so many compliments on how amazing his voice is when he screams, and people will say, I don't know anybody. I've never heard anybody in any band except maybe a couple, and that's just pushing it, that can sing like him or scream like him. So why in the hell would I try to talk somebody out of doing what really, for the most part, really is the thing that have people stay turned on to it? Like, keep listening to the song. You know, they've been listening for years, and they keep listening because they just love that scream. And you hear it, and it's like, that's Cameron. I could hear a song that he worked on, and he never told me he worked on it, and his voice would come up, and I'd be like, that's Cameron. Like, somebody played it to me that's not in the band, or somebody played it to me, you know what I mean, and I heard it somewhere else where I didn't have any idea that Cameron would have worked on this. You know, he's got a really distinct, you know, yell, and I've only heard one other vocalist that did anything that sounded like him, and it was a local band too at that. So he's just got a really, you know, definitive growl to him, and I think let's keep honing in on that. You know, I don't want to take away. I think that's would be what would make it better. So, no, it's obvious just to keep doing more of that, because that's what, you know, gets my blood pumping.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a great way to go about it, and I'm glad that you guys are keeping all of that in mind as well, because when you start doing what you don't feel comfortable with in a band, it's going to take you in a direction that you may never feel comfortable with. And I'm not talking about like a selling out kind of thing. I just mean like on a personal level, you never want to make music that you're not going to be happy with. And definitely with Tango Umbrella, I mean, it definitely sounds like an album where it sounds like everyone in the band is very happy with the way it turned out. And of course, the response that I've heard so far when I've played you guys on my show and when I've seen reviews of it is very positive towards this album. And I hope that you guys keep going in the direction of making the music that you want to make.
I think that, I thank you, and I have to say right now, I guarantee you that that's what will happen. It's gotta be what we want to make, and if for some reason it sounds a little less like, you know, I know live, maybe some people, that wasn't my cup of tea. But when you just open your mind and you listen to it from beginning to end and take in all the parts of that song, it's like, there really is some heaviness to it that is in a way of being clean and heard and more clear, but yet it's still really heavy, and a kind of heavy meaning, an emotional kind of heaviness, like a song heaviness, not like the sound more heavy and gritty. Just that was like, out of all the songs, that could be the one that I could skip over, but then it's the one that I always go to because again, it's a lot of emotion and it's singing, it's a lot of honesty, and there's some really neat things he's been doing with malts and overlapping harmonies, and he's trying some things like right off the top of his head that work perfect. So I like that spontaneity, and the things that we have worked on already that do work, to watch that happen and become better than the demo, even though it's kind of like the same idea. It's just to hear it with all the new stuff together, it gives it new life. Then you can kind of start bouncing new things off of it, whether it's mixed below, so it's a malt that's kind of helping give it a little, fatness to it, a little thickness to that voice, some more complex waves going on, and just filling all the ranges of notes. We got a kind of a drony voice here, we got a low note, we got a higher note, we got a scream in the background that's turned down, but then when you listen to it, reverse it, listen to it again, listen for the scream, reverse it, listen to it again, listen for the quiet part that's going on at the same time. I don't always catch it the first time through. I'm not always thinking of it. I might be thinking of the drum part, Man, I like that. I like being able to catch new things in it, and vocally too. It's good stuff.
Oh, very much so. So, you said before that a lot of the song demos came with parts that were written with drum machines and MIDI tracks. So, when you translated it into your playing, how much of it changed and how much of it differentiated from when you got to start playing it?
Well, some of it did not change a bit. Some of it was just me playing my version of those notes and to not miss any of those notes. I might be over in the hi-hat or the ride, where the hi-hat. Well, I put it on like a tight hi-hat, and I did these kick and snare patterns that they were doing, which some of them are really difficult. With a lot of the blast beats are things that I hadn't tried in a while, and they did with a computer and at a certain BPM, and I don't know if they were actually at the time even considering if I could play this or not. Those were a tempo, a blast beat, like a 16. I think they were triplets. I'm not sure, but I remember it was really fast, and it was going for more than just a couple beats. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have to hold this off for at least a measure here, and that was always not my strongest suit. And but I love that they put those in there because it's made me a better drummer. It made me not be intimidated by that. Just go ahead, sit down with it. What does it call for? Give it a shot. Does that sound good? Well, let's not simplify it yet, just because I haven't nailed it. Let's give me some time. I really want to try and nail it so it sounds like it does on the demo, because some of the demos I really wanted to hold true to what was going on there drum-wise, because they were coming up with some ideas that really fitting the parts well. They weren't just playing drum beats in order to show off and say, look how hard we can make this sound. I mean, they really went with parts of the song. And so it was when I got hold of an outro to that song where they originally were like, no, just keep the length that it was on the demo. And I was like, I really want to try it one where it's like a whole measure like this, where it's really hard and fast. And it's kind of like, I'll admit, a little beyond my normal playing abilities. But I was like, I know, working on this, I know we can nail this. Even from the beginning, come up to it and nail it right when we get to it. And it was hard. It was one of those that you had to take it next take a break, come back in 15, try it again. Okay, try it again. Do you want to start something else, or do you want to just work on this one for the rest of the night? And they'd be like, let's work on something else. Let's save this one for tomorrow. So some of those really cool, hard ones that sound like some of the more, heavy head charge, but with a new kind of flavor, those are the ones that really were challenging. And at first, not like, it was almost like, am I going to be able to do this? And kind of fighting a little bit in my head. But the more I just relaxed and just said, I'm going to do it. It's hard, but I'm capable. I could sit down and figure this out. And so, getting there by myself with the songs, play the song again a few times before I record it, and I would just practice along, not full force, saving it for the take, but I'm sitting there practicing along with it, and then I'm like, okay, 30 minutes go by, and I'm like, I'm starting to get this feeling more normal and natural. But sometimes it would be an idea they do that by recreating it, it almost felt like not what I would play in such a way that it would feel unnatural, and I'd have to rewrite it for him. But then he'd go, no, hold on a second, I want you to try it like that way at least, and we'll listen to it back, and if you're still getting that vibe from it, we'll approach it from there. And so we went ahead and did that, and then when I went back and listened to it, and I looked at it and I was like, you're right, man, it's perfect like that. The thing I wanted to do to it was for a different reason. It wasn't for the best of the song, it was for the best of the credit, what I thought part needed. And to me, the thing I wanted to change, it was like, oh, it's going to be so cool if I could humility moment in Head Charge when you realize it's not your ideas that are important. It's that we all agree that this is what's going to work for this song, and sometimes things happen that, Chad or Justin isn't thrilled about. But if we feel it so much that they can't but not eventually go, okay, I hear it now, But yeah, I mean, if a couple guys really despise the part, we're not going to, force it on everybody just because, you just don't get it, don't worry, it'll grow on you. We've cut parts out in order to, maintain collective democracy in a way.
Well, you
Dave Fortman was a huge help. Dave got to come in there during pre-production and help us listen to all these songs. We couldn't possibly fit all these tunes on one record. So, a couple of us like me, I'm always like, yeah, look at double record. Woohoo! Let's do it. Do a double. We just didn't have the time or the money, to record that many songs. So I really appreciate Dave's Fortman's insight on how to look at all these songs objectively and find out why the songs should go in a certain order and for what reason in that order makes it a great sounding record. Whether it's the tempo of the song or the vibe of the song or song that maybe you've done to sound like before, or one that you have to, by no means is this one not going to be on the record, and you got ones that like, well, it's going to go third or is it second or we're going to put it later in the record. So a lot of that stuff that, seems like, you could figure that out in an afternoon. We really put a lot of thought into it. It felt like the order of the songs and the ones we picked to put on this CD was just as crucial as the performing of the songs and everything. So once you got the list closer to what it is right now, I think things are starting to click. They were like, yeah, that sounds more like the record in that order of those songs when I think of those songs and how they came out. And I'm thinking of some of the other songs and, it would have been cool if this could have gone there, but, it's not the way that's going to work out. Maybe use that for something else down the road. Because there's a couple tunes that didn't make the record that are, it's nothing to say, some of the tunes that didn't make the record had nothing to do with how good a song they were, if they got the mustard. I mean, some of them are amazing songs, but, it might have been a situation where we already had kind of a mid-tempo one, so we don't want to add another kind of mid-tempo groove like a Suspect or whatever, unless it's, out of this world good. So for some reason, musically and lyrically, it didn't wow everybody like Drowning Under Everything. That one was like, oh, now that's got to go. When? So the fun part too is trying to figure out when these were all going to come around in the record. What was the replacement? What part of the record really meant to be in? The more I hear it, the more I think they got it right. They listen to all the stuff and they put it in the right order because it just makes sense that way.
Yeah, that's definitely some great insight into making the album, and there's so many things that go into it that the casual fan may not even realize when it comes into the production of the album, all the way down into finalizing the tracklist order, which I know as a band is very important when you feel so strongly about all the songs on the album. And with that said, was it a hard choice picking what songs were going to be the singles to promote the album?
There were a few ones. That were tough because I think initially a lot of people were like, "Let all the world believe," and then we had some change of hearts, and I was one of those. But wait, this would be a great one out the bat too. It's heavy too, and I think the more we got closer to having to make that decision, and the more we're hearing everybody's feedback on the matter, it just seemed to make more sense. That Let All the World Believe should be a good single to kick off the record, to get the record off with a really good intense start.
Yeah, I mean,
that was one of the songs that when I heard it on the demo and a demo form in like 2011, I was like, that is going to be on the new Head Charge record. I just know it. And it was years ago I heard this. I was like, oh, that one's going to be on there for sure. I got to make a note of that one. There's no way that one. And it did. The more it grew and the more it came along, the better it sounded, and the more I believed it for sure was going to be on there. But I had to, change the heart here and there, because all the other songs sounded amazing, and, breathing new life into them and then hear them again. So that for sure was one of our first singles, and we had price things to worry about. Well, we can't afford to do this many singles with full videos because we have enough for one video right now. So let's say the money we have for this, we're going to split those up into more like lyric videos. So we pick another single, like a Perfectionist, and use a lyric video for it, where it's less money, but yet it's production, and that you're doing what is it called, that software where you mix frames of pictures and whatnot and video with your music. Like they're just doing the editing for it, but real simple. It's just pictures. It's not moving. I'm not taking pictures of situations and people, talking. It's just pictures and lyric creatively thrown up, and then the new lyrics, the new parts of the song, lyric video. You've seen them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we picked, let's do a lyric video for this tune. And so that kind of came out, and then, well, the World Blues came out, and that debuted, and we got actually be able to vote for it to stay in this Battle Royale for LimeWire. And that was exciting because we're on our third week, and we're like third, and then Slayer's second, and then I think Baby Metal from Japan are first for several weeks now. They've been first. So I think it's cool just to keep being in the race, because I guess if you don't make a certain percentage, you don't get to go the next day. The battle for the other places is exciting, seeing how everybody's voting.
Yeah, it was great to see that too. I mean, keeping the spirit of American Head Charge alive and seeing that the fans cared that much to be able to vote for you guys and keep you in as long as you were.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Slayer fan, and when I thought being Slayer, I was like, well, that's cool, man. I mean, shit, being a Slayer fan and knowing how heavy they are and how heavy their fans are and devoted they are, I was like, well, meet Head Charge fans, because obviously when we were able to beat them that one week, I was all like, I'm so proud of my Death Squad fans. I was like, wow, such a great job. But, Slayer fans are intense, Some people say they're even elitist, but I'm a Slayer fan. I don't think I'm an elitist metal fan, I like country and blues and, outlaw country and blues and classical, too. I got an eclectic taste. I love me some Slayer.
Oh yeah, I think it's very important as a musician to be open to different styles of music. It definitely helps with your creativity when you're coming up with new songs and helps you see things in a different way that you may have never seen before if you hadn't opened your mind to check out new styles of music.
Yeah. Exactly. It's about having an open mind and having an open mind to what somebody else in the band is saying. Because there's been times where I get really stubborn. I'm like, nope, I want that idea like this. I really like it. It's it. Don't make me change it. And butt heads with people in the band. You kind of get in the way of the process because they saw something that I sometimes don't see. So when I let go and relax and just trust and listen to what my bandmates are trying to tell me, don't get all emotional. Let's look and see what they're talking about. I'm curious. So I have a more, curious state of mind about it, and then we'll do what they say, and then we go back and listen to it, and they're like, honestly, what do you think? They're like, wow, you know what? Here, let me hear it again. Let's hear it again, and I'm like, you're right. I honestly gotta say it does sound better than what I wanted to do with it, after listening to it through the right, goggles, the right lenses. At first I'm looking through my own lenses on what makes it sound like, what makes it give Chris a kick-ass sound, what can I do to make myself come out going, wow, what a badass. And the less I thought of myself, and the more I thought about just being in the pocket, playing the right tempo, and keeping the guys together, then those big fills will come live. They come like sometimes spontaneous, where it'll hit really good, and I'll get, chat with somebody, turn around and go, what was that? And I'm like, are you alright with that? And they'll be nodding their head like, yeah, that was awesome. Just play what I'm supposed to play. And when those moments come where I know it's just the right accent, just the right part, it's do something a little, add a little extra, Grisgram to it, little Bonnaroo, Black Cat on, do it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when it works, I keep doing it, keep adding to it. That's why, when you come see us live, you get it. Why our fans are so nutty. This record, I've heard it over and over again. It's an okay record, but I don't get it. And you see us live, and how that music is put together live, and sometimes, really close to exactly the album. And that's done through painstaking triggering and making sure I'm playing to the click, computer's playing to the right click, and so they're hitting at the right time. And it may not always sound like ED, but that was never our, ultimate, charm of playing live, was to sound just like it may sound intense like the CD, and you'll hear parts like you're on the CD, but after playing a song a couple times live, you'll get to the point where it'll sound different live. We'll put a different, I've heard Violent Reaction played live after Ozfest, and it was like Ozfest, he was playing it like it was the song on the record, and then a couple years down the road, we're like, hey, let's do this. We'll do a quiet verse, and then we'll do this. We'll play actually a part of the song in our song, and ask people if they got it. Did you hear that Art song in the tune where all of a sudden he did this lick with Skinner? But little things, to make it, cool like that. And a lot of times they'll get it, like, yeah, I was waiting for it to be like a regular verse, or a chorus where you're singing the chorus, and it was just like this real quiet thing that was building, Some people will catch on real quick, and some people are like, just, going with it. That's slightest aware.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, you guys are been working hard and going to be coming up on a very long tour that you guys are going to be doing, almost a month and a half, coming up starting May 12th, and then at the end of the tour doing a gigantic festival here in Minneapolis. How does it feel to be getting on the road and promoting the new album?
Feels excellent. Feels like it's all come to this, and fate. I'm not ready. I'm not exactly ready, but I am getting ready. I will be ready. Yeah, to be able to go out and tour this record is really exciting. Because we were touring just for the sake of touring before at times, and there was excitement to see us play. But the vibe I'm getting now that we have something kind of brand new to offer, it just picks it up. Definitely picks up the exciting level up a notch. We get to try these things live to make it work live. Does it sound this good live like this? I might get a hell yeah from Chad. I'm like, that's close, but let's try something later. And I got an idea, I'll show you. And then when we get a chance to show each other, and I was like, that's it, that's what we're going to do. And then have it be the thing that works for months and months, So it's just little things, People might not hear those differences, and I can understand, because they're sometimes really minute changes, but they mean the world to us, because it's different than a record, and it's, also done in a way that we didn't forget the structure and the meaning behind the song, that we're just taking those artistic chances sometimes, liberties, sometimes chances, just because I didn't write a lot of these songs, I didn't write these songs. And I guess it's coming from a gut instinct within them to, they want to make sure it's done and it's done. They don't want any regrets later on down that, oh, we should have changed this way. So if it's just something to try, just to see if it would work or not, I'm always down to doing that. And I'm never like, oh man, it's good, let's get the take, good. That's when I've learned. I used to be more like that. I'm really impatient. And playing with Head Charger, definitely I've grown on, and I've been able to obtain some grace, patience, a lot of, empathy and towards people's, viewpoints on what this means to them, this recording means to them. It's not as much about me anymore. It's as much about being a part of the process, enjoying it while it's happening, and getting to see everybody's reaction at the end. So I'm a little more open to trying stuff instead of going, dude, no, that's crap, just for the sake of not wanting to do it. Or I'm saying, no, let's not do that. I can't be like that. No, honest. I'd rather be like, okay, well, honestly, let's try it. I want to hear it, because I want to move on. So it's got to be good sometimes.
So
sometimes it ends up being really amazing, like that lick in a solo where you couldn't play it the same way twice, and they just, and you have to record, and they're like, yes, and you're like, yeah, God. So sometimes those things will work out really, really, really cool. Sometimes it's just luck. Sometimes there's some magic that happens.
Oh, very much so. So, with playing with Head Charger, would you say the biggest thing that you've learned from being in the band is being able to listen to outside opinions on how your playing comes along?
Oh, most undoubtedly, being open to criticism is one of my number one traits, the bonus. I gotta be able to. Since I don't write jams, or I don't write any of the songs. So if I play a part that sounds different than what they had, I thought, well, I heard the drum part that you wrote for it on the demo, and I thought that maybe this one would work better. And there sometimes they'll go, okay, yeah, I like that, and they'll keep it. But most of the time, it's played the way we did it, Chris, because it's for a reason. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, grin and bear it, and be like, and go through it kind of whining. And then, but like I said, it's like being able to get that point where I do that less, and I see the reward from opening up and letting them guide me to do what it is they're talking about. Because they're like, there's going to be room for that part you're talking about. It's just, this is a spot where we're saying it doesn't fit because of this original A, B, G. Now to hear it, and then I'd play it back and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's like a light goes off and you're like, you're giddy, and it's like, I totally get it now. I totally get it. It's a difference between one sound and making it sound really punk and kind of out of control, and then the other way, it sounds like it was, orchestrated, but in a way that was really sensible to the process, the song, what it called for, and what you could use to, make it better in parts. It's fun watching them discover these things, especially Dave Fortman, who's mixed freaking Godsmack. And here's a dude, like, and a singer, if I remember right, is like a badass drummer, right?
Oh yeah, Sully was a drummer before he started Godsmack.
Right, and he's not even the drummer of the band.
Yeah.
So the fact that Dave Fortman was a good drummer himself, he was a guitar player for Ugly Kid Joe for like 6-7 years, right?
Yeah.
But Dave Fortman was also a very good drummer. And he got behind my kit after I'd set it up all day, and he started playing this beat that he learned from these kids on the street in New Orleans. And I'm like, holy fuck, what did you do and how'd you do that? And he goes, well, I just did this on this arm and this leg. You see how that just doesn't stop, and I'm doing that, and every time 10 and then watch duck, this is the top part. And I could do every part by itself, but he'd throw them together and like yawn while he's doing it, making it look easy. I'm like going, whoa, dude. I'd get all frustrated. I can't put it together like he did. It's just, I'm, different kind of drummer, not as good as that kind of drumming. But then there's things I was doing where I was blowing him away. It was like, man, Chris, that sounds so good. I can't believe that was just your first take on that part. And like, I'd be like, wow, he's saying something I'm not. It was, good. It's a nice boost to the ego. You need it sometimes.
Yeah, that's always a great compliment when other drummers can see that the style that you're doing shows through and they enjoy what you're playing as well, because I know sometimes that happens as musicians where sometimes you get jealous of other playing or you feel like you're better than someone else. It's always great to see when two people who play the same instrument can sit down together and be able to enjoy each other's playing.
Oh yeah, and learn from each other.
Exactly.
I always like to play around people that are better than me. They always make me a better player.
Yeah, that's it.
And sometimes I like to play with people that are beginners because I like to inspire them to want to play more, because I feel like since I've got more experience and I'm willing to take the time to work with this guy, I really want to inspire him to keep doing what he's doing and to get an opportunity to show him how much you can make and how much of a difference you can make in a track just by doing a couple things if you mix it right. Go at the song right when the song's all together, meaning the vocals are singing, the drums are going, the guitars are going, the whole song.
Yeah, very much so. So, when it comes to you guys making a set list for this upcoming tour, is it going to be focused more on the new album, or is it going to be a bit of everything, or have you guys decided that yet?
Yeah, I think I talked to Chad the other night, and we made some sense out of that question. I think I'd like to play a lot of songs off the new record in rotation, to where say maybe one night we play these 4, and the next night we play these other 4, or at least always these 2, and then these 2 change. I don't know if that's going to happen or what, or we're just going to pick 4 new ones and just concentrate on them the whole tour. It could go either way. I think sometimes it depends how well we're playing in rehearsal and how well things are coming along. We'll try some extra, challenging things like segues, or we'll do something from another record where maybe like 2 minutes of each song and it's all crammed together in like 4 or 5 minutes, like a montage, or not a montage, but like a medley of sorts. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think just for right now, I think we're just going to do maybe a few songs off the new one, or a few songs off of The Feeding, and a few songs off of The War of Art. Now, there might be one off of Shoot. I don't know. There might be one off of Trepanation that isn't on any of those other records. So, it's up in the air. I have some ideas. I'd love to have the guys put To Taste Acid back in the set. That's been one of my all-time favorites that I haven't heard in eon. So my wish might not come true, but I'm going to ask.
It's a great song. It'd be great to hear that live again.
There's some 4, they go, okay, 4 new ones. I'm thinking, okay, Let All the World Believe, Perfectionist. I'm thinking, Suffer, and like Last Track, my favorite for selfish reasons. But there's that track, and then it might get much other votes, for whatever reason. Like somebody be like, oh, I want to do this song, I want to do this song. We'll pick out the songs, I'm sure, and we'll all come to agreement on them. And it's not going to be easy, but I'd like to hear Cameron sing, King Among Men live and pull that off, emotion off live, and to get those audience members to be, quiet, shh, listen to the song. Moment of silence. Listen to that song. It gives everybody cold chills up their spines when they hear it. I'd love for him to be able to deliver that kind of tense emotion to people with using something that's so seemingly so simple and quiet to have such an intense reaction on you. Almost like it's the heaviest song we've done, but it's all quiet. It's like a lullaby. I don't think it would pull that much emotion out of a grown man, but I don't know if it was tempo and the notes, words he used. It just made me think of my brother Tim. It made me think of Brian. It made me think of all these people I miss, and they're always here. In the present, they're always in the heart. So in a way, it's a song I don't skip over all the time. Like in the past, I might have done that. Been guilty of like, nope, don't want to feel. Nope, don't want to hear it. Now I don't let it go by. Without playing the whole thing. It's one of those I just gotta hear it. I love getting in touch with my emotion. Now, more emotional, and I like it.
Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that at all. So, when it comes to the band, after this gigantic tour that you guys are going to be doing starting on May 12th, what do you guys have planned for the rest of the year?
That is a good question. What's planned? I know. Oh, good question. I wish I had an answer for it. What I'd like to see happen is I'd like to see us play the UK again, because unfortunately, we missed playing there, and it's for the second time, and I'd really like to get back to the UK and play some shows. I think it'd be really interesting to play some markets we haven't played yet that are excited to see us. That's always fun. Like just places we've never played that want us to come. I'd love to play Australia. I'd love to play Japan again. I'd love to play, I'd love to play New Zealand. And, just all these places like Brazil that I know we have fans that would come. We just got to get there.
Yeah, and I definitely hope it happens for you guys too, because it is a fantastic album to be able to try to hit as many markets as you can across the globe, because again, you guys are definitely on your A game this time around, and it's great being able to listen to this front to back and never feeling like anything lulls, never feels anything boring about it. It just feels like a very solid album from start to finish. You guys definitely did it right this time around.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had that vibe too. During the recording, there were some times in Kentucky where I'm like 2 hours from my home, Indiana, and I just wanted to pull all my hair out and just drive home and go to sleep and say, like, well, I'll see you later. I don't want to be down there right now. It's too hard. But I'd wake up, get my car full of gas, point it in the direction I needed it to go, and get back down and say, yeah, I'm sorry. I bugged off. I got a little upset, but I'm not bailing. I want to be in head charge 100%. That means every part. Even the parts maybe I don't want to be. My drums are tracked. There's all this going on. I could just go, but no, I hung out for a little bit longer. Going to watch, see what's going on. Enjoy that.
Oh, very cool. Well,
it's such a hard record for me to do. I don't know how to explain it. When it comes out in the song, like you'll hear the drumming and you're like stuff that I haven't really tried before, and it just comes out like it sounds like I know what I'm doing. That took a lot of work to do that because it was hard. I appreciate that being hard. Chad and Cameron helped make me a better drummer by writing a really gnarly part and then saying, Chris, dude, you got this. There's no way you won't be able to do this. Yeah, it'd take a little time to learn it sometimes, but they were right. I got it.
Oh, so very cool to be able to hear that, through all the struggles of the band and being able to put out such a fantastic album. I wish you guys nothing for the best for this album, and thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Very on the spot, but I'm very glad I was able to make this happen and be able to support the new album, which is available now. And of course, you guys hitting all over the country starting May 12th and then ending here in Minneapolis for a gigantic festival that's going to be going on at the Skyway Theater. Again, thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else that you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
I can't think of anything right now. If I do, once you make sure I get your number, and if you have anything too that you want, an undying thing to ask that you forgot, you can get a hold of me too. But I can't think of anything right now, but just in case, I want to get your number.
Oh, sure.